Thank you for listening, and please like and subscribe so that we can grow. Welcome to another enlightening episode of the Ludwig Nobel podcast, where we delve into the intersections of ancient wisdom, modern science, and the untapped potentials of human spirit. Today, we're embarking on a profound exploration that could redefine how you navigate the chaos of contemporary life, the sacred connection between the heart and the brain. In an era dominated by relentless notifications, geopolitical tensions, and personal uncertainties, from the echoes of recent global conflicts to the quiet battles we wage within ourselves, what if the pathway to unbreakable clarity, resilience, and joy was hidden not in external fixes, but in harmonizing these extraordinary centers of intelligence inside you? We'll anchor our journey in timeless scripture, the revolutionary science, spirituality fusion of Greg Braden, and the raw earth rooted teachings of Tom Brown Jr., passed down from the wise elder he knew simply as grandfather, a Lipan Apache medicine man whose guidance embodied the Native American tradition of honoring a teacher as grandfather to signify deep respect and spiritual kinship rather than literal blood relation. At the core of it all lies a verse from the Bible Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 22. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. This isn't mere metaphor. It's a divine invitation to unify our inner vision, to let our heart and mind converge into a singular, radiant focus that banishes inner shadows and ignites our full potential. Over the coming segments, we'll unpack the science, the stories, and the actionable steps to make this your reality, drawing from Braden's global workshops and Brown's Tracker School immersions, where seekers have forged these connections. So grab your favorite brew, find a quiet corner, and let's illuminate the path together. To set the stage, let's linger on that biblical cornerstone, because Matthew 6:22 isn't an isolated pearl. It's the luminous heart of Jesus Christ's Sermon on the Mount, a manifesto for living with undivided allegiance to what truly matters. Nestled amid the teachings on anxieties, treasures in heaven, and serving God over mammon, this verse uses the eye as a profound symbol for our perceptual lens, our guiding intention. When that eye is single, whole, pure, unfractured by dual pulls of fear, greed, or distraction, light cascades through the entire body, metaphorically and perhaps even literally energizing every fiber of our being. The contrast in the next verse sharpens the stakes. If the eye is evil, divided by selfish pursuits, darkness engulfs us. This ancient insight resonates across millennia, echoing Eastern philosophies like the third eye of Hinduism or the heart-mind oneness in Taoism. But here's a clarion call for spiritual integrity. In today's world, where our brains juggle data streams and our hearts grapple with unspoken longings, achieving that single eye means bridging the chasm between logic and intuition, analysis and feeling. It's the antidote to the fragmented self, promising not just survival, but thriving in wholeness. As we weave in Greg Braden's evidence-based revelation and Tom Brown Jr.'s visceral wilderness lessons, you'll see how this verse isn't just archaic poetry. It's a practical blueprint validated by quantum biology and indigenous rights for flooding your life with that promised light. We'll explore how participants in Braden's international seminars have reported immediate shifts in emotional regulation after applying his techniques. and how students at Brown's Tracker School in the New Jersey Pine Barrens have described profound perceptual awakening through grandfather's heart centered practices. Enter Greg Braden, the geologist turned visionary whose life work has shattered the false divide between faith and fact, showing us that the human body is a living oracle of creation. Born in 1954 in the American Midwest, Braden's path took him from oil fields to sacred sites worldwide, where he uncovered patterns linking ancient scrolls to modern physics. In books like The Divine Matrix and Human by Design, and through his collaborations with the Heart Math Institute, he demystifies the heart brain connection as the fulcrum of personal and planetary transformation. Picture this: for centuries, we viewed the heart as a humble pump, subservient to the brain's command center. But Braden, citing landmark research from the 1990s onward, reveals the heart as a sovereign intelligence, a little brain boasting over 40,000 neurons, sensory cells that process information independently, generating the body's strongest electromagnetic field, 5,000 times more powerful than the brain's. This field isn't random, it pulses with coherent patterns. When we're in sync, communicating bidirectionally with the brain via the vagus nerve and afferent pathways. Astonishingly, the heart sends far more signals to the brain than vice versa, up to 90% of the traffic, infusing our thoughts with emotional wisdom, intuition, and even precognitive hunches. What makes this dynamic even more profound is the inherent nature of these organs. The brain, with its left right hemispheres divided by the corpus callosum, often operates in duality. Logical analysis on the one side, clashing with creative intuition on the other, leading to that inner tug of war we all know too well. In contrast, the heart stands as a symbol of wholeness. It is undivided, a unified chamber that contracts and expands as one seamless entity, pulsing with a singular rhythm that embodies integration and harmony. This wholeness in the heart offers a model for transcending the brain's divisions, allowing us to access a deeper, unfractured intelligence. Braden's perspective reframes our existential struggles through this lens. Why do we feel stuck, anxious, or disconnected? Because incoherence reigns. The brain's overactive default mode network spins tales of scarcity and separation, while the heart, burdened by unresolved emotions, beats erratically, amplifying cortisol floods and immune suppression. Yet Braden insists we're not victims of biology, we're co creators, drawing from global traditions, from Essene texts to Hopi prophecies. He posits that heart brain coherence activates our innate God code, a fractal blueprint in our DNA for self healing, longevity, and manifestation. Science backs him. Heart math studies show coherent states synchronize heart rate variability, or HRV, optimizing autonomic balance, slashing stress by 23% in minutes, and spiking DHEA, the youth hormone, by 100%. This isn't woo woo, it's measurable magic. Braden recounts experiments where coherent groups influenced random number generators, hinting at a unified feel where human intention shapes reality, echoing quantum entanglement and the observer effect. For him, Matthew 6:22's single eye is this coherence incarnate. When heart and brain resonate at zero point 0.1 hertz, that's the Earth's Schumann resonance, we become conduits of light. Our body's temples aglow with divine potential. In a time of AI ascendance and ecological peril, Braden's message is urgent. Reclaim this connection, and we don't just heal ourselves, we heal the world. Attendees at his workshops in places like Sedona and Bali have shared how these insights dissolved chronic pain and reignited creative passions, turning abstract theory into tangible transformation. It's amazing. Now, let's demystify the how with Braden's elegantly simple protocol. And it's distilled from decades of field work and lab data into 3 transformative shifts. These aren't esoteric rites requiring retreats or gurus. They're everyday portals, accessible in the midst of a meeting or a commute, designed to forge that single eye. First, the shift in focus. Our scattered attention is the thief of presence. But Braden teaches us to reclaim it by gently relocating awareness to the heart space. To deepen this, he emphasizes the profound importance of placing your hand on your heart, a simple tactile gesture that creates a physical connection, grounding the abstract in the immediate warmth of your palm against your chest. This touch isn't just symbolic. It activates sensory neurons, signaling safety to the nervous system and amplifying the heart's electromagnetic field, making the shift feel more embodied and real. Sit or stand comfortably. Close your eyes if it feels right. Place one hand gently over your heart. Feel the subtle rise and fall, the steady beat beneath your fingers, and direct a soft, curious gaze inward, right to the center of your chest, about 4 fingers below the collarbone. No judgment, no force. Just notice the subtle expansion there, the quiet rhythm beneath the surface. This act alone, per EEG studies, quiets the brain's amygdala, that's the fear center, and boosts prefrontal cortex activity, priming neural highways for unity. Braden likes it to spotlighting a stage. The heart steps into the glow, and the brain's monologue fades to harmony. Practice for just 30 seconds at first. Soon it becomes instinct, your default anchor amid storms. Workshop participants often report that this initial focus alone erases racing thoughts, creating space for deeper coherence, especially when anchored by that hand-to-heart contact. Building on focus comes the second shift, our breath. Breathing is our original superpower, yet modern life has us gasping shallow sips that perpetuate fight or flight. Braden, informed by yogic pranayama and heart math's quick coherence technique, advocates a deliberate rhythm. Inhale smoothly through the nose for 5 seconds, 5 counts. Hold it for 5 if comfortable. Then exhale through the mouth for another 5, emphasizing the out-breath to activate the parasympathetic rest and digest response. Feel the belly rise, the chest soften. Each cycle is a shuttle, ferrying the heart's steady electromagnetic waves upward to soothe the brain, while inviting cerebral calm downward into the core. Research from the University of California shows this pattern entrains brain waves to alpha and theta states, realms of creativity and insight within 60 seconds. Braden shares tales from Andean shamans who use breath to whisper to the stars, aligning personal coherence with cosmic pulses. In your practice, pair it with the focus. As you breathe, imagine a golden thread weaving heart to head, dissolving knots of tension. This isn't mechanical, it's intimate, a conversation where breath becomes the language of reunion. Those who've practiced this in Braden's guided sessions describe a palpable download of calm, as if the body's wiring resets in real time, with a hand on the heart serving as a steadying anchor through each inhale and exhale. The crescendo is the third shift, feeling. Here, Braden unveils our species' secret weapon, the ability to generate emotions deliberately, independent of circumstance. With focus locked and breath flowing, your hand still resting on your heart to maintain that viral physical link, summon a genuine positive state. Gratitude for a simple sunrise, compassion for a struggling friend, or appreciation for your own resilient beat. Don't intellectualize, immerse. Let it swell like a warm tide from the heart, enveloping the body in oxytocin and nitric oxide, which dilate vessels, sharpen intuition, and fortify immunity. Braden cites studies where this evocation raised immunoglobulin and antibody levels by 50%, proving feeling as a biochemical alchemist. He draws from biblical psalms and Native American vision quests, where evoked heart states bridge the veil to spirit. In practice, hold the feeling for 20 heartbeats. Feel the field's expansion, a subtle hum that attunes you to synchronicities. Together, these shifts, focus, breath, feeling, birth coherence, embodying Matthew 6:22. Your eye singles, light floods, and suddenly decisions clarify. Relationships deepen, creativity erupts. Braden's promise? In 66 days of daily practice, it rewires you for effortless radiance. Seminars goers frequently echo this, noting enhanced sympathy in high stakes negotiations or breakthroughs in long, stagnant projects, often crediting the hand on the heart touch as the key that made the wholeness tangible. To bring this alive, let's draw from accounts shared in Braden's community forums and workshops, where individuals have woven these shifts into their lives with remarkable results. Consider the story of Alex, a software engineer from Berlin who attended one of Braden's European retreats last spring. Overwhelmed by deadline dread and his fraying marriage, his brain looped catastrophic scenarios while his heart clenched in silent betrayal. He said, "I felt like two people at war." He reflected this in a post retreat testimonial. Inspired by Braden's framework, Alex committed to the three shifts each dawn, focusing on his heart amid the alarm's buzz with his hand placed firmly there, breathing into the knot of anxiety and evoking gratitude for his partner's unwavering support. Within a week, coherence cracked open. His HRV app showed smoother waves, and at work, innovative code flowed unbidden. But the miracle wasn't relational. During a tense dinner, he paused, shifted to his heart's focus with that grounding touch, and felt a surge of empathy that dissolved defenses. He said, "It's like the light Jesus described," Alex shared with fellow attendees. "My whole body in light lit up." Stories like his abound in Braden circles, from trauma survivors in facilitated healing groups to executives in leadership intensive. Coherence proves its universality, turning inner division into unified strength, with many highlighting how the physical hand on heart connection bridged the brain's divided hemispheres to the heart's undivided wholeness. Yet, Braden's vision extends beyond the personal, pulsing with global implications that stir the soul. He envisions heart coherence networks, communities syncing fields to amplify peace, as in the Global Coherence Initiative, monitoring how collective human rhythms influence Earth's magnetic field during crises like solar flares or elections. In one 2023 study highlighted in his workshops, coherent meditators in synchronized sessions correlated with reduced seismic activity precursors, hinting at our role as planetary stewards. Braden ties this to scripture. Just as the single eye lights the body, unified hearts could illuminate humanity, fulfilling prophecies of new earth. He cautions, though, against superficiality. True coherence embraces the full spectrum: joy and grief, light and shadow. In the wisdom codes, he explores how ancient tongues encoded this, using emotion as the language of light to recode DNA. For listeners facing 2025's upheavals, from climate migrations to tech disruptions, Braden offers hope. Your heart's field, when coherent, extends 3 feet, subtly uplifting others, creating ripples of transformation. Pause now, if you can. Apply the shifts, hand on the heart. Feel that inner glow. That's the single eye awakening, a sensation echoed by countless participants in his worldwide gatherings who describe the heart's wholeness overriding the brain's divisions like a unifying force. Transitioning from Braden's luminous labs to the shadowed trails of the Pine Barrens, we meet Tom Brown Jr., the modern day maverick whose life reads like a saga of survival and soulcraft. Born in the 1950s in New Jersey, Brown wasn't schooled in ivory towers, but forged in the wild under the guidance of the wise elder he revered as grandfather, a Lipan Apache medicine man who, in the Native American tradition, was called grandfather, not as a familial tie, but as a title of profound respect for one who carries the ancestors' wisdom and serves as a spiritual mentor. From age 7, in a clandestine 10-year apprenticeship detailed in Brown's seminal works like Grandfather from 1992 and The Tracker 1978, this elder imparted not just tracking prowess, but the metaphysics of perception, that true vision, the biblical single eye, demands linking the heart's spirit fire to the brain's discerning mind. Brown's narratives, raw and rhythmic, transport us to dew-kissed dawns, where lessons unfolded not in words alone, but in the earth's unspoken lexicon. Grandfather, with eyes like polished obsidian and a voice like wind through cedars, taught that the modern disconnection stems from head blindness, brains bloated with books, knowledge, hearts starved of the earth's whisper. The heart knows the deer's secret path before the eyes see the track, grandfather said. He pressed Tom's palm to his chest. And this connection, grandfather insisted, is the hunter's edge, the healer's grace, the seer's salvation, heart to brain, spirit to sight, birthing a body full of light. Students at Brown's Tracker School today still invoke these teachings in their wilderness solos, reporting visions of interconnectedness that mirror the single eye's promise, often beginning with that instinctive hand to the heart for physical attunement. One indelible tale Brown shares captures this essence, set in the frost-rimmed autumn of Tom's 11th year, just a mere boy. Exhausted from a grueling stalk through the briar-choked swamps, he slumped against a mossy oak, legs throbbing, mind reeling with failure. He thought, man, the fox had slipped their snare. Grandfather crouched beside him, unyielding yet tender, and murmured, "Your body cries, but not from flesh wounds. Feel here." His gnarled finger tapped Tom's sternum. He said, "The heart weeps for what the head chases in vain." What followed was no pep talk, but a rite of reconnection, the heart awakening meditation, a cornerstone of Apache spirit ways that Brown later adapted for seekers in his book, Awakening Spirits from 1994. Grandfather guided time to lie supine on the needle-strewn ground, earth's cool pulse seeping through his back, and to place his hand over his heart to forge that essential physical bridge to its undivided wholeness. "Breathe as the wind breathes the forest," the elder commanded. "Inhale deep, drawing in the pine's sharp tang and the distant owl's call. Exhale long, releasing the ego's clamor. The I must win that we're always thinking about, that severed him from the flow. 4 rounds, each a purge. First, tensions of the body. Second, doubts of mind. Third, sorrows of heart. Fourth, the void of forgetting one's place in the web." Tracker School alumni often recreate this in their own apprenticeships, describing how it strips away urban armor to reveal raw presence, with the hand on heart gesture amplifying the sense of the heart's singular, undivided power, contrasting the brain's split perspectives. As equilibrium settled, the meditation deepened into invocation, the calling of the inner light. Eyes shut, Tom visualized a thread of star fire igniting his heart's core, a spark from the great mystery itself. With each heartbeat, it unfurled, warming the lungs, steadying the gut, climbing the spine to the crown the skull, where it bloomed into the brain's vast hall. "Now the eye is one," grandfather whispered. Heart feeds mind, and the world unveils its face." Brown describes the sensation as electric clarity. Suddenly, the fox's trail reappeared in memory's overlay, not as linear prints, but as a living story. Fear scent lingering, paw pressure on the soil, narrating evasion. This wasn't hallucination, it was heightened perception, heart's intuition illuminating brain's analysis. Grandfather explained it through Apache lore. The heart houses the spirit horse, wild and wise. The brain, its rider. Unyoked, they wander lost. Aligned, they gallop as one, traversing unseen realms. In that moment, Tom's body flooded with light, not ethereal, but tangible. Fatigue vanished, senses sharpened, a profound peace cocooning him against the chill. Participants in Brown's advanced tracking courses have echoed this breakthrough, using the meditation to navigate ethical dilemmas in the field where heart led choices align with sustainable harmony and the physical touch to the heart, reminding them of its whole, undivided essence amid the brain's dual divisions. Brown's recounting extends this lesson across seasons and trials, illustrating its practicality and peril. During a brutal winter vigil, when hypothermia clawed at their bones, Grandfather invoked the meditation. Mid-blizzard, heart first, he urged, as the winds howled like vengeful ghosts, guiding Tom to press his hand to his chest for that grounding connection. Tom focused inward, breaths sinking to the storm's roar. Inhale, fury. Exhale, surrender, until the light thread pierced the numbness, warming veins like inner coals. Brain, once forged by panic, plotted shelter, a lean-to from imagined tree bows. They survived, not by might, but by unity. Brown reflects this connection healed deeper scars, too. Grandfather's own exile pains as an Apache, transmuted through heart release, naming grief as a stone in the chest, envisioning it crushed to dust by spirit's hammer, scattered to winds. Pain is the teacher's arrow, the elder taught. Let heart catch it, mind learn from it, and light returns. For Brown, orphaned young and adrift in suburbia, post-apprenticeship, these rites became a lifeline. Tracking urban signs like a neighbor's slumped gate to intuit unspoken woes. In the Tracker's school community gatherings, elders pass on these stories, inspiring new generations to apply the practice in everyday resilience. From corporate stress to environmental advocacy, always with a nod to the hand on the heart touch as the portal to the heart's undivided wholeness. Grandfather's teachings layered nuances, as Brown chronicles, turning the meditation into a lifelong compass. After the basic steps and invoking your inner light, try the spirit scan. Expand your awareness to the world around you, with the heart acting like a radar to sense everything and your brain serving as a map to make sense of it. Feel the oak's ancient vigil, the stream's joyful babble, each a thread in the grand weave. Neglect this, and one becomes the blind walker. Grandfather warned about this. Brown applied it later in his life, founding the Tracker School in 1983, where thousands learn not just woodcraft, but soulcraft, authoring 17 books that blend memoir and manual even consulting on ecological restorations using heart brain sight to read wounded landscapes, poisoned soils pulsing with silent screams. One poignant episode from The Search, written in 1980, recounts a lost child's rescue. Tom's heart fluttered with the boy's terror miles away, guiding his brain to veer from logical trails into intuitive thickets, unearthing the miracle. The single eye sees what logic blinds. Brown writes, paralleling Matthew 6:22. Grandfather embodied this to his last breath in 1979. His passing, a final lesson. As life ebbed, he meditated out loud, heart light ascending, brain serene, whispering, all is one. Modern tracker school initiates share similar epiphanies during vision quests, where the meditation unveils layers of personal and planetary interconnection, reinforced by the physical act of placing a hand on the heart to honor its singular, undivided operation. Synthesizing Braden and Brown yields a symphony greater than its part, a holistic toolkit where science precision meets Earth's poetry. Braden's three shifts provide the scaffold, focus as the heart spotlight, breath as the unifying content, feeling as the spark. Infuse Brown's earth-kissed depth, ground the practice on soil if possible, exhale into nature's chorus, invoke light as grandfather's starfire. For the overwhelmed professional, blend Braden's gratitude evocation with Brown's pain release. Name the burnout stone, crush it with compassionate breath, then soar on evoked appreciation. The result? Exponential coherence. Heart math metrics meet Apache acuity, birthing decisions laced with wisdom, bodies resilient as ancient oaks. Consider the account of Maria, a healer from Vancouver, who integrated these elements during a joint-inspired retreat, blending Braden's methods with Brown's tracking principles. Struggling with chronic fatigue that left her exhausted and debilitated, Maria was told by doctors that her condition was idiopathic. It's just a fancy way of saying they couldn't pinpoint the cause. Yet deep inside, she felt it was tied somewhere, somehow, to a painful trauma inherited from her ancestors. She wove Braden's protocol with the heart awakening meditation. Mornings focus and breathe on her balcony, overlooking the Salish Sea with her hand on her heart, releasing grief balls into the waves, then calling light to thread her weary frame. Afternoons, spirit scans during walks, heart feeling the cedar's resilience, brain noting healing herbs. Within months, vitality returned. Tests showed inflammation halved. It's the light verse alive, she recounted to retreat facilitators. Heart and brain dancing as one. Such integrations have surfaced in cross-disciplinary events, where attendees fuse the approaches for amplified healing, often marveling at how the heart's wholeness integrates the brain's divisions through that simple physical connection. Truly amazing. This fusion invites deeper inquiry. How does coherence catalyze creativity, the spark of innovation, Nobelkin like my forebears championed? Braden links it to the pineal gland activation, DMT like floods in a coherent state, birthing eureka moments, as Einstein attested to, a cosmic religious feeling. Brown echoes with tracking tails, heart intuited leaps by yielding impossible insights, like deducing a poacher's route from just a snapped twig's, what he said, emotional echo. Only the heart can detect this. Together, they empower us as creators, writing symphonies, solving climate riddles, fostering peace accords. In 2025's flux, with AI blurring human essence, this connection reaffirms our uniqueness, fields of feeling no algorithm can mimic, yet challenges persist. Braden addresses heart lock, trauma's residue requiring somatic release like EMDR fused with breath. Brown adds ceremony, smudging with sage to clear etheric blocks, grounding barefoot to earth's hum. For skeptics, both offer empirics. Track your HRV, journal post practice, synchronicities, witness the light's proof. Workshop archives from Braden's team and Brown's school are replete with such validations, from quantified stress reductions to qualitative tales of intuitive triumphs with a hand on heart practice, frequently cited as the bridge to embodying the heart's undivided nature. Let's just expand with a guided immersion, a live walkthrough to etch this into muscle memories. So just settle now, listeners. Chair, floor, wherever you are. We'll merge the masters. Braden's triad with Brown's ritual. 5 minutes to single your eye. Begin with your posture. Feet rooted, spine tall yet soft. Hands on the heart or on the lap. But for this, place your hand gently over your heart right away, feeling that physical connection to its whole undivided beat. First, Brown's released. 4 commanded breaths. Inhale the room's airs, sense sounds as a gift. Exhale a name tension. Shoulders tight from yesterday's stress. Watch it vaporize. Second, breath. A doubt. Am I enough? Out with the wind. Third, heart sorrow. Longing for a lost connection, dissolved. Fourth, silence, the void filled by presence. Now Braden's focus, with your hands still there. Beam awareness to the chest center, soft as moonlight on water. Feel the subtle rise, fall, the unspoken knowing there. This step, as retreat participants note, often evokes an immediate softening, a prelude to unity amplified by the touch that reminds you of the heart's singular wholeness against the brain's divided flows. Then shift to breath. Braden's rhythm, Brown's earth tie. Inhale 5 counts, drawing earth's stability up through souls. Hold 5, savoring heart's expansion under your palm. Then exhale 5, offering thanks to the ground. 3 cycles, feel the thread weave, heart's drum echoing in temples, wrists and toes. Synchronicity stirs, brain quiets, intuition hums. Those practicing in guided tracker school circles describe this as the earth's heartbeat syncing with mine, amplifying the coherence. Finally, feeling an invocation. Braden's gratitude, Brown's light. Summon a cherished memory, a loved one's laughed, a forest's embrace. Let it bloom warm in the heart, your hands sensing the quickening. Now visualize From that ember, a pillar descends, starfire, white gold, threading from crown through every cell, bathing bones in glow. Heart ignites, brain beholds it. Hold for 10 breaths. My eye is single, my body is light. Emerge slowly, journaling what surfaces. A nudge, a piece, a vision. There, you've tasted unity. Repeat it daily. Watch worlds shifts. This blended guide has been a staple in hybrid workshops, yielding feedback of sustained clarity weeks later, with a hand on heart element praised for making the heart's wholeness palpably real. And stories amplify this, humanizing the abstract. Recall Javier, a Madrid activist who encountered these ideas at a Braden led online summit infused with Brown's excerpts from his school curriculum. Reeling from 2024's floods, home lost, spirit fractured, his brain tallied losses, heart drowned and despaired. Nightly, he focused on survivors' shared pulse with hand to heart, breathed tidal rhythms matching the receding Ebro, evoked communal resilience while calling a patchy light to mend his core. Protests he led gained traction, not from shouts, but from coherent presence that moved mayors. The verse became the verb, he posted in the summit's forum. Or Leona from Oslo, whose artist's block was addressed in a creative, coherent seminar, drawing from both sources. Canvases blank, mind critiquing, heart parched. Merging shifts, breath to loosen strokes with hand anchoring the heart, feeling joy in color's memory, light to illuminate doubt. She birthed a series on inner fires exhibited to acclaim. These narratives, shared in public testimonials from such events, underscore the practice's reach, highlighting how the physical connection fosters the heart's unifying power over the brain's splits. In Greg Braden's 2019 TEDx talk, The Science of Self-Healing, he highlights real medical wins from heart-brain coherence. One woman reversed multiple sclerosis through daily practice, shrinking brain plaques as her energy fields synced up. Tom Brown Jr. shares tracker school stories of nature-based healing. A student beat a fever, not just with herbs, but by heart meditating to listen to the body's wisdom, then using the brain to guide herbal poultices. Blending their ideals creates easy health tools like coherence for easing anxiety or spirit scans to unblock intuition. Parents, start early with kids. Swap screens for bedtime breaths and heartwarming stories to raise, focus, wholehearted generations, as taught in the school's family weekends. Always begin by placing a hand on the heart for that simple, real connection. Globally, this beckons collective rights. Brandon's Global Coherence app links meditators. Imagine Brown's circles in cities, urban trackers evoking Earth's light amid concrete. In Sweden's saunas or New Jersey pines, gatherings could pulse as one field, countering division. Matthew 6:22 prophesizes it. Unified eyes, a world alight. Collaborative events between Braden's Institute and Brown's network have prototyped such, with participants reporting amplified group feels enhanced by shared hand on heart moments that symbolize the heart's undivided collective strength. Challenges, time scarcity. Braden says micro shifts suffice. Brown's anywhere silence agrees. You can do it now, here, just 5 seconds. Doubt, track wins, mood logs, biofeedback. For the advance, Braden's code of light, toning vowels to vibrate fields. Brown's dream tracking, heart-led sleep for prophetic insights, both featured in extended school modules with hand gesture as a constant grounding. As we near close, reflect. This connection isn't luxury. It's essence. It's the thread binding us. Practice, persist, light awaits. Thank you for joining. Please subscribe and like, and feel free to share your thoughts. Until the next time, let your eye be single. Bye, everyone.